Hello and welcome to Channel Sports on Sunday. I'm Ken Ochonogo. This season, we expect it to be dull. Normally, it is just the transfer season, the transfer news that you'll be hearing. But FIFA says no. The Euros said no. CAF says no. So we are having the FIFA Club World Cup. We are having the WAFCON, the AFCON for the women in Africa. We have also the Euros for the women, and they're all taking place within this period when the footballers are supposed to be having a rest. We're already into July now, and by August the season will be starting. Probably they're going to have about, for those that are going to play the finals, how many weeks of rest? But that is it. It is sportainment. The people say the end. They understand that they are not robots. They are human beings. So I've just told you things that we're looking at, we're discussing here. We're looking at, the FIFA Club World Cup. The first time we have this expanded issue of 32 teams playing, test running facilities in United States of America, Canada, and Mexico. There's been some ups and downs. So the merits and demerits of the team, a lot of matches being stopped, due to rain, due to one reason or the other. But the money, the money is the attraction. So many dollars flying around. 4 teams are in the semifinals right now. We have Fluminense representing the South American, the Brazilian continent. In fact, 4 teams came from Brazil, and the one there now is Fluminense, the last team standing. The other teams are from Europe, because you have Chelsea, coming in, from England. They are also the conference league champions. We have a PSG, who are the, what do you say about PSG? They are the current champions. They tried and and finally they got there. They are the kings of Europe. And then how about Real Madrid? They won this trophy 5 times. They played more in this country than any other team. So we have those 4 teams right there going for the for the big deal. We'll look at the package, how much they want to earn. If City has been here, probably they will have offsetting. I know. So we'll look at the Club World Cup. The issue of Jamal Musiala, the horrific injury. The young man, just got there. And there are some good news. Somebody was saying he was going to go out for about a year, but we are saying 3 to 4 months. It's a long time, but at least it is better than being out for a season. So we'll look at CAF Champions League, or not CAF WAFCON. I don't understand this. Well, it is men. It is easy for us to start talking. Meanwhile, the women for us in Nigeria, which is our Super Falcons, are the most successful team you can think of in Nigeria and in Africa. So why should we be mixing it up? So the WAFCON is there in Morocco going on, and yesterday there was an opening game between the Moroccans and Zambians, and it was a thriller from the very first minute to the last minute. In Euro, England started their defense, but they became the first team. They became the first team to get the result they don't want when they met France. Wimbledon is on now. Wimbledon is on. The Joker is still there. The man is going for number 25. Alcaraz, the man in form. And Sinner, the man who was banned and back. So the male and the female are still exciting. Arena Sabalenka is still there. And then you also have, Iga Swiatek ruled for some time, but right now she has dropped to 8 in the world. But she is still, there hunting for this. Unfortunately for Barbara Krejcikova, she just left yesterday. She was beaten by Navarro. There is no defending champion for the female, but for the male, the back-to-back champion in Carlos Alcaraz is still there, and that is what we are looking for. Would that be another final? Because in the last 6 editions of the Wimbledon, Djokovic has been in the final. In the last 2, Alcaraz has been in the final, beating Djokovic. Who will the cup fit this time? Yannick Sinner has been looking around. Remember, he went 2 sets up against Alcaraz at the French Open. So, is he match fit now? But you can't say it's not match fit when he plays in the finals in Rome and in the finals also at the Roland Garros. Of course, losing both to Alcaraz. So there is vengeance in his mind. There is ambition. There is a tenacity that he is world number one. Can he take Wimbledon? We look at the, like I said, we look at the transfer season. It's all ongoing. For us, we are concerned with Nigerians. Where is Osimhen going? Where is Lukman going? These are players that are a bit unsettled for now. So, but the good news is they are at the top of their games. So whatever contracts come should be lucrative ones. In a day, I think we woke up right there on Friday, and the news was not too good. First of all, we had the death of Diogo Jota, a fantastic player, fantastic human being, a fantastic professional. He just won the league with Liverpool. In fact, Liverpool bought him from Wolves, gave him the number 20. They were in quest for winning that 20th title, and they did succeed. So he was symbolic in that thing. And then he went back to his native Portugal, and the Nations League, not just did they win it, they beat Spain in the final. So you can imagine what kind of season he was having. If we just heard this, doctor said, don't fly. He said, okay, let me drive, because he wants to return early to Liverpool, going through Spain in his Lamborghini. You remember how fast those cars are. Unfortunately, with his younger brother, that was it. We're still trying to recover from that. In fact, not even recover, trying to, kind of feel it in what it was all about. Even those who are not Liverpool fans were shedding tears over this. A young man at just 28, a young man that is a symbol, a young man that whatever it is, and he just left, And then we're thinking about this when something in Nigeria, another thing happened. What you can see there is where it happened in Spain. The Costilla, Leon, where the accident happened, and that is the Lamborghini in which he was traveling with his younger brother, who is also a professional footballer. So we don't know how do you console the family, of Diogo Jota? How do you console them? But then we all know that death is what will meet all of us. But at the point it comes is what matters most. And like we said, we're still, trying to figure out. And when Peter Rufai came in, he was a friend of this house. That at 61, it was a shock. Nobody heard about it. He was that is him, part of Kids Corp. Anytime you call him, he will be there with his smile. You call him Dodo Mayana, he calls you back Mayana Dodo. And there he is trying to, stop that. Yes, and you don't who is taking that kick, and the man who is stopping it. And yeah, that was the goal. Yeah, that was the goal. We remember him for his good days. Remember him for his good time. Remember him for his good deeds. Remember, everywhere you call him, you see him inspiring, motivating people. But that is the thing. That is the chairman and CEO, the chairman of Channels Television himself, the humble John Momo with Peter Rufai, and then he just scored that goal. He said, let us take another one. You've taken the first one. Let us see what happens. And that is what we are looking at now. And then the chairman is going for the second one. And let's see, we do catch that. The chairman sets down and he takes it. Wow, and he scores again. Okay, you can see how charitable Dodo Mayana is. That is the man that he is, making everybody look better. And that is what he made our chairman look there. Of course, our chairman used to be a top striker, but I won't tell you the clubs he played for or the teams that were calling for his signature, for them to sign him. Okpe is in the house. Okpe Ajala, how are you?
Thanks, Ken. It's been a wet week, at least here in Lagos, and a tough Thursday. Two siblings. Getting that news very early on Thursday, and later in the day getting the news about Dodo Mayana. You saw our amiable chairman scoring twice against Dodo Mayana in a penalty shootout. I just wonder how many players their lifetime were able to score twice against Dodo Mayana. Dodo Mayana played 3 AFCON semi-finals, all ending penalty shootout.
Wow.
And he saved us in 84 against the Egyptians, 88 against the Algerians, and 94 when we won the tournament against the Ivorians, the defending champions. So he played 3 AFCON semi-finals, ended in penalty shootout. He made the day for Nigeria. The late Ernest Okonkwo will say, Peter the Rock, give us this day, and he actually gave us those days.
Peter the Rock gave us this day. Peter the Rock is up there in heaven with the, with the angels and the saints, and that is what it is. So we pay our tributes to them, himself, and also the young Diogo Jota, the Liverpool forward, who just left after a glorious season, a symbolic season. But then, what then do you say? His body and that of his younger brother were laid to rest yesterday. That you can see the dignitaries, you can see everybody coming in.
The Liverpool family were out there, led by their Virgin Van Dijk. The captain was there, the manager was there, Trent Robson. Both of them, I think they threw the wreath for himself and the Andrew Silva, the brother. So it was a full package. In fact, because of the wake, what happened with the wake, the family just begged that the funeral should just be private because the crowd were just uncontrollable. The president himself was there, of the nation. The
president of the nation was there. This is how you live your life. Sometimes people say, okay, of course we pray to live long, but it is how well at the end of the day that people will remember you with. How long it is beautiful you are with your family, and they will remember you. But look at him, they're living his young children, 3 young children, a young wife. They just got married 2 weeks to days.
11 days before the day. And you just wonder, what is it about life? A man that won the 20th title for Liverpool, making them at par with Manchester United, got the Nations League Cup for his country, got married to the love of his life just 11 days back, and at the end of the day, we just console the family. That is the greatest we can do for them at this moment.
Sometimes you just look at things, like you said, this life, probably as if there is a kind of a higher force trying to say, achieve, because you are about to go. You understand? Because, I mean, nobody... Portugal were fortunate to even enter the final.
Yes.
And then everybody wrote them off against Spain. And then look at how they're coming back after conceding early. And then we don't know. Liverpool were, everybody said, look, they were on 18, they won the 19th on it was during the COVID, and then because it was COVID, nobody, knew whatever. People said, look, that is not the title, people were whatever. But here they are.
The title with the asterisk.
Yes. Here they are now winning a 20th, and with number 20 being on the shirt, when they came from Wolves, and all we see now are wreaths, of those who love him, those who feel for him. This is humanity, because it knows no bound. Everybody, all presidents, or every club, every football fan. I have people who are not Liverpool fans shedding tears on this.
Such is life.
Such is life. Such is life. So that is it. We pray for the repose of their souls, and like we say, we pray that the heaven is richer with their presence. The way these brothers left, the car got overturned and burst into flame.
I think for the rest of us, the good times just needs to become great memories, while the bad times will always become great lessons.
Bad times become lessons, while the good times become great memories. That is okay. That is what Okpe just said. The bad times and the good times, the memories and the great times. Look at what they are, and we learn from it. We learn from life each and every day of our lives. So let us go to Morocco. The WAFCON just started yesterday, 5th of July. There's not about 5th. There is a stadium called 5th of July.
Yes.
Is it
I think in Nigeria, yes.
I think in Nigeria.
Nigeria.
I remember.
5th of July stadium.
There is a 5th of July stadium. It just occurred to me now. But this one is taking place in Morocco. Morocco has become the Mecca of Africa. WAFCON, AFCON, on the 17th. Everybody.
Actually, it's not even today. You recall Maroc 88 was actually supposed to be hosted by Zambia. At the last minute, Zambia had to pull out, and the Moroccans came on board. Just the same way Mexico came in, stepping for Colombia in 86. So that's why you have a nation that is always prepared. And at a point, we're also hijacking tournament, hosting on behalf of CAF. Nigeria Ghana 2000. We hosted because was it Zimbabwe had to pull out. But now, can we do that?
You have only one stadium. Right, everybody is rushing to Ikene now. That's what even the friendlies we played and other things, they are going to Ikene. I don't know why we cannot put our facilities in place. We are blessed enough with human and material resources to do that. So when you come in and then you say Morocco, I mean, in fact, the last time we did it here, almost about 10 or 11 African nations are
playing
playing
their
their
own
home
matches
matches in Morocco. In Morocco, you know, they play at home, so their fans don't watch any match. They go to play at away, and then when they want to play home, they go to Morocco. If Morocco don't have those facilities, I don't think all these things.
Yeah, Morocco has just become the mecca for African football,
and they are doing well.
They are doing well themselves.
So
they are not just
with Moroccan coaches taking a Moroccan, an African team to the semi-finals of the World Cup. So they are investing in their,
conscious investment.
Conscious investment.
Conscious investment, not just investment to make profit.
Yes.
Conscious investment. And we talked about the French team.
Yes.
You know, the French team, they missed out from the 1990 World Cup, missed out from the 94 World Cup.
94 World Cup was so painful.
Yes,
against Bulgaria, against Israel.
Israel needing a point from two home matches. And the last one, Ginola losing that ball, and of course the whole French nation was shattered. But they came back in 1998 as hosts because they've had made investment, the right investment in their Clairefontaine football center.
Yes.
The British, they replicated that, so and they've been playing
at St. George's.
They've been playing finals, and their women are even European finals as we speak.
Yes.
Their under-8 teams are European finals at all levels. So conscious investment.
Under 19? Is it under 19 or 21?
21.
Under 21. They just won under 21.
So they were defending champions.
Yes.
Back to back. You have their women European champions under 17. They become world champions. So conscious investment. The investment needs to be conscious, and we have to know that we are putting not just throwing money at problems. It should not be a problem of we have money, the problem of how to spend. We should be very particular and very deliberate in our investment.
Very particular and very deliberate. And yesterday, we saw the opening game. It was 2-2, but the first goal came in 58 seconds. The African footballer of the year. And don't say me, the way we say, we think it's always the male. You know, Barbara Banda, I mean, she is good. She is good. She took that ball at kickoff, and in 58 seconds, the ball was inside the net. The Moroccans came back, you know, and then the Zambians went over, you know, ahead again. Yeah. Then in the 88th minute, where everybody was saying, look, can they still come back? Can they still come back? That is the goal. That is the 58-second goal. That is the 58-second goal. They put it there, just there in 58 seconds. This courtesy of, you know, CAF, you know, and that was the equalizer, you know. They came back. He scored the first goal. She scored. I'm sorry. She scored the first goal and created the second one. She gave that through pass that was converted.
Yeah, I think you just have to think about this. Zambia's always having a standout player. Takes you back to the likes of Kalusha Bwalya, who got those hat-trick in 88 Seoul Olympics. You have Banda also getting
Italy, right?
Yes, against Italy. And you have Banda also getting 2 hat-tricks at 2 different Olympics. And but unfortunately, she has not been so fortunate like Kalusha, who also had other great players around you. But she keeps playing her part in the bargain, and
she was playing in China.
Yes.
Oh my God!
So we have a fantastic African player there. So the opening match,
that is the result.
Morocco against Zambia's Banda.
Yeah, against Banda. All right, Nigeria plays today. We start our quest for the La Decima today. So that you can see it there. Senegal takes on DR Congo.
Yep, and Nigeria takes on Tunisia. Algeria takes on Botswana.
Botswana, they play good football. The Tunisians are also good. Mm-hmm. I think the rest of Africa, they
are stepping up.
Yes, because now we used to have Nigeria, Ghana, Cameroon. Now we have Equatorial Guinea. We came up there, and then that is it. Of course, that is the trophy.
That is from CAF.
That's the trophy. Very beautiful trophy. I think we can zoom into one of them. Very beautiful trophy. And that trophy is worth $1 million. You look at it. That is the prize
for the runners of the
winners will take $1 million.
Yes. The runners of $500,000. Third place $350,000. Fourth place $300,000. The quarterfinalists $200,000. The third in the group stage takes $150,000. The last team in the group stage takes $125,000.
That's a $250,000.
Yes.
That is that like a participation fee.
No, that is 1/8 of a million. $125,000.
Okay, 125. Okay. So. Yeah, 250 is a $250,000. Yes. That is 1/8 of a million. Yeah. All right, let's listen to the CAF president. I think he said something here. Have they finished? Okay, I thought we were taking what he said.
I come from a culture where they say, you invest in a girl, you invest in a woman, you invest in a society, you invest in a community. I'm not saying don't invest in the boy and the man. We love them all because the boys are our children and the men are either our fathers or our uncles. But I can tell you, we are making good progress in women's football, and we will continue to support and make resources available and encourage the football clubs to support women's football.
Anna, you train the woman, you train the girl child, you train the society. You give your wife 10,000 naira to go and prepare. You don't know how to just say, I take. She will manage it and manage the house. That is it. But women, when the thing comes, how do we do it? So when you train them, I tell you this, it is an investment in our girls, in our sisters, in our mothers. It's investment in the society. You train it. Motsape said it. You train the girl child. It is an investment. You reap over and over and over again. I'm not saying don't invest in the men, but the men can always go out there. The women, the children, the vulnerables are those that need, much assistance from the society. So when you can do that, why not do it? So we move from CAF to Europe, where the Euros have also started, like we said, and the Germans are okay. Like in the CAF, the Falcons are 9 times champions, going for La Decima.
Going for the 10th title.
For the Euros, the Germans are 8-time champions. They're going for number 9. So you can see dominance. While Nigeria is dominating African continent, the Germans are dominating the Europeans in our continent. But the defending champions, like Obe did say when I was telling you what, the ROI on on how much the English did. He just talked about what the French. Okay, those are the results for yesterday.
You have the Dutch beating the Welsh 3-0. France going 2-up against England before England coming back with their solitary goal from Walsh. So 2-1 for France.
This group, okay.
So for today, you have Finland against Norway and Switzerland takes on Iceland.
Iceland. So that is what you are seeing there. Norway, Finland. But the other group that had the Netherlands, have England, France. Netherlands are the former champions before England took over. And they have the French that have always been knocking on the door.
Of course, they control Olympic Lyon, who are the dominant force in the Champions League.
So, so it tells you that that group,
group of death.
Everybody is going to collect points from Wales.
Group of death.
And it's a group deal.
But the England, the loss for them yesterday was quite an upset.
Yes.
They were coming in very strongly and nobody expected that.
The French took quick goals.
And of course, you have Arsenal being the European champions. And of course, with the momentum the English have been building. But let's see how they come out of this. The Argentines lost their first match against Saudi.
And they went on to win.
They went on to win.
So you can lose it doesn't matter. You can lose your first match and you go on to go and do well. I think even the Spaniards, I think they lost their first match.
They lost their, in 2010, they lost against Switzerland.
They lost their first match.
The only unbeaten team in 2010 was New Zealand.
But they didn't progress.
Yeah, like the Cameroonians in 92. Drew all their 3 matches and of course
it happens to you. So you can lose your first match and still go on to win the championship. But this one is tough. It's tough. But as I said,
it's the tough group.
Serena Wagner, their manager, she won it with the Dutch. She said she's Dutch, and then she came back and then also doing well with England. So let's see if England can do back to back. But they've not started on a positive note. The French took that. The English came back, watched a bit, but it was too little.
Too late for redemption.
So from there we move. We are still moving again. We now move across the Atlantic to the World Club Cup. Let's start with the not too palatable news. Musiala, Jamal Musiala, that a freak injury. We saw the keeper, shedding tears that he would have. This is what I cost him.
those are the kind of things you don't want to
witness
when it comes to global football or football at any level, even because Musiala, a player of rightly of Nigerian heritage, and of course coming back after a long layoff, his first competitive start coming because he was actually gunning for that ball before that crash with Donnarumma.
So Donnarumma cried.
Yes, he was touched. He was touched, and that is humanity in all of us.
Yes.
But again, life goes on. We just have to wish the young man a speedy recovery.
We wish him a speedy recovery. I see him there with his eyes. Our initial report said he was to be out for a year for the season, but from what we are hearing now, at least we say maybe 3 to 4 months by the group because it's a fracture.
I think the ankle actually shifted because I saw the footage, and of course it was not something.
It's everything you saw. You just see bones jutting out, and that is just the thing. Look at
they could not bear to watch.
There are things you can't watch. Not everybody can watch it.
Not
everybody can watch it. That's the keeper. Look, that is his realization, and then say, for goodness sake,
why me?
My God, I know what even himself, we're going through
emotionally and psychologically.
Okay, so but let us look at the results that that is there because the 4 teams have now qualified for the semi-finals, like we told you earlier in our intro. 1 from South America and 3 European teams. They are all giants over there, teams that have won something. Real Madrid 15 times European champions. The current champions, PSG, both of them will be clashing.
Yes.
And then Chelsea will be taking Fluminense. Like Fluminense was in Nigeria some years back in this, I think, I watched, because they came with Pele.
Yes.
They played the Nigerian selected side. I watched that match. I was at the but let's take this.
Okay, so Palmeiras losing to Chelsea 1-2. PSG beating Bayern Munich 2-0. Then Real Madrid 3-2 victory over Dortmund.
Over Dortmund. And then the semi-finals.
So Fluminense of Brazil takes on Chelsea. PSG takes on Real Madrid.
This is mouth-watering. Probably if we can open the lines and you guys join us, if it is possible. I'm going to ask you your predictions. Who do you think will go through in this? We just don't know who will go through between Real Madrid and PSG. That will be something. That is like it's a Champions League final any day.
Of course, any day,
anywhere. Diogo kept scoring, and then they got 2 red cards. That's the thing, that the PSG were 2-man down when they scored.
When they scored the second.
When they scored the second goal. That is they scored a second goal. All right. We want to go on a very, very short break. When we come back, the Formula 1 is still there. And at Wimbledon, they are still fighting. And we'll open the lines for you to join us here. Stay with us. Okay, you're welcome back. It is the Channel Sport on Sunday. And then, of course, they prompted us already. The lines are open. How far do you think the Super Falcons will go? Who do you think will win it right there at the FIFA Club World Cup? He just said about that England starting poorly, in the Euros. Do you think they can do what the Spaniards did at 2010 and what Argentina did in the last World Cup? Lose your first match and go on to win the trophy. Real Madrid is taking on PSG. That one, how do I say it?
The veteran, no, the veteran and the reigning champion.
The veteran, okay, the veterans. They even made that trophy for the 15. Just like
the champion and the placeholder.
Okay. The champions and the placeholders. All right. So that would be this. So you tell us, who you think will do that. Like we said, this is always an open access. We do not restrict you on what to talk on when we open the lines when you join us on this show. Just talk anything sport, only that. Just no matter how you are, put it well. Like you said, we lost Peter Rufai, national team goalkeeper, a superstars player. Play for famous Scorpion of Eroa, play for Dragons. Of Republic of Benin. qualified Nigeria for the World Cup for the very first time. It was, it was there at our first goalkeeper at the World Cup. The only goalkeeper that said I scored from the open play for Nigeria. They said he scored a goal. I don't know.
Yeah, he scored against Ethiopia. Our last qualifier for Tunisia '94. We had the penalty and he was asked to take that. That was the match that launched Sunday Oliseh.
In fact, that was a group. It's the Super Eagles B team. They were the B team. And then they played so well that the B team from the B team, they brought them and entered into the A team, and they became dominant, figures before we went to AFCON. Before we went to AFCON, because I remember the West Ham was having the A team, and he said Bonfrey should be handling the B team, and that was the thing. So he did so well there. He came back, like I said, he has been from the 80s. He has been in the national team. He has about 6 years hiatus, before.
Yeah, he came in, played the finals of the Cup Winners' Cup. Yeah. That was 81. Insurance could not go for the tournament, so they lost the final of the FA Cup. So they represented Nigeria. He sustained an injury in the final. He saved the penalty. I think Rufai was a great penalty stopper. He was always, and that was why it gave most of us confidence that he would stop that penalty against Baggio. But again, that was a different
ball game entirely. The time it came.
But he has always been reckoned for stopping penalty. He stopped the penalty in Yaoundé, and it was 0-0. They came to Lagos and they lost 2-1. He was injured and taken out. So himself, Yekini, and Keshi were the only guys in '84 that played the 88 final and were in '94. So he served. He
served this contract. I think they say 16, 17 years he was there serving his nation. You can imagine at your prime, and he did that. And anytime they called him, he was just like Okwaraji. Yeah. They are all gone now. So
even the 1988, so many people will almost remember him for. He was already off on his vacation. Yeah. He was recalled into the team when he was not prepared, but he could not turn down the nation. So more people now actually remember Rufai for 98, but a prime Rufai was not the 98 Rufai.
That is an almost retiring Rufai, not a prime Rufai. Okay. We go to Wimbledon now. Is this the Joko time, or is age catching up with him?
Okay, I think as at March, I had already passed my own verdict. I'm not God, but based on my informed opinion, I think his time is over. I've said it here as far back as March. It can only be amongst the others now. It can't be Djokovic and others, but it's now the top two and others. So for me, it's just part of the people marking attendance. Is it the favorite? For me, I don't think so.
He has seven Wimbledon titles, just one behind Roger Federer. The other thing, there is something that we say this is what is going to motivate him. The number 25, the number 8. You understand? He already has more Masters 1000 than any other person. He already has more Grand Slam than any male player. Of course, he has 24 Margaret Court. And the other thing, there are some inner to say, look, let me give you this last hooray.
Okay, the last hooray, I think when Serena, even when she was still very active, I looked at her emotional makeup and I said, look, the pressure of that duck breaking was too much for her, and I maintained she would not get it. And of course, she was playing clever.
She played to the finals.
And she was never getting it. Now, the problem with Novak is this. For him, the Olympic gold medal took a lot from him. And beating Alcaraz on his own turf. On his turf.
Yes.
Someone you lost to just how many months back. So that took a lot from him emotionally. That took a lot from him as a person. And of course, having reached for me, that was his climax. Because that was the only thing he was looking for. And we've been saying it, look, you need to do it for your country. He has done it for himself, but he has never done it for the people, for the Serbians. And getting that for Serbia, getting it for himself, for him, that was just to close his chapter. Any other thing?
I think he was part of it. I won the Davis Cup.
No, I mean the Olympic gold medal.
Okay. The Olympic gold medal.
He won the Davis Cup for the first time for Serbia.
I think that was 2010.
10 or 12.
I think it's 2010. When they shaved,
Yes.
they
said they will have their haircut.
The president of the tennis federation said if they win the Davis Cup, he will shave his hair.
And he did that.
And when they won, at the center court, they brought the scissors. You remember
I think we showed it here.
We showed it here. They brought the scissors and they shaved his hair. Oh my God.
So he did it but for me, I think the Olympic gold medal took a lot out of him.
Okay, I took a lot out of him, but this is Novak Djokovic. This is one player that for those of you who played draft, there's what we call detain and sack. You understand? They will allow you to go forward, and then you go there. It's like okay, you are doing a marathon. First take 20 meters. Go ahead, take 100 meters, 200 meters, and I'll catch you. That is what he does. He will just as if he's toying with you. He allow you to go. That was a prime Novak. At a point, he was playing second fiddle to Nadal. And Federer and whatever. And then suddenly, the juggernaut just emerged. And before you knew it, here is the GOAT. There is no doubt about it that he is the greatest of all time, until another one's come. But from the start we have, no man has done these things. Masters 1000, we have 9 Masters 1000. Djokovic has won them at least twice. He has 40. So, but at each of the event, he has done at least twice. So he has done the Golden Masters round. He has done it. He has won the
slams.
The slam. Minimum of 3 times in each of the slam. Minimum of 3. Some people have only 3. And the model they are saying is, and the model has only 3 titles. And the model has only 3. You understand?
True.
But people are saying, and the model is a great. But this man has a minimum of 3 in all 4.
That is 12.
Times 2. So but he was so good at the Australian Open,
and he has his career slam.
Career slam by when he added the Olympic gold. So he won the Davis Cup. What else do you want to do? But he just won that. When he won the 20.
And he got his 100 victory in Wimbledon.
At Wimbledon, he has 180 titles. Yeah. Centurion on almost everywhere.
All the slams.
Oh my God! My God! Major win only one.
No, Ken, it's past.
Right, there only one.
Even as a nation, our best district was around 16.
Yes.
Because it's all 83.
Nduka. So, I think we should be able to get Nduka on. I want to see if we can get Nduka. Very probably during. Let us see what we can work on. We don't want to promise you guys that we say you are bringing, but we should be able to get the Duke and let us see how he took Nigeria to the 4th round of Wimbledon, and no other person has done it. And David Immunity tried, more tried, and but when you mention these names, people who are 20, 30 can't even remember them. So it tells you how far gone we have when it comes to tennis. These were in the 80s, 90s, 100s. Now we're in the 2020s. Soon we enter 2030s. Something has to be done. No? Something has to be done. And then, like the fact actually is, you cannot divorce the sports sector from the economy.
Yeah.
From the economy. Now I'm the bankers. Understand? But for like somebody like me, there are things I don't understand. You understand why? Because as at that time when we have Lord Romans, or Obe Hardcourt, Okada, a lot of them taking place, the Naira was very, very strong.
Yeah, and again, you look at the budget last year for sport, I think 34 billion. You look at it this year, 78 billion. But again, when you benchmark the currency, you see that it's actually not a leap because most of our competitions, you pay in FX.
Yes.
So the training, when you have to go outside for the elite athletes. So like the Falcons now, they don't spend Naira, they spend in dollars. So at the end of the day, that is why we need to make that, I keep saying, the conscious and right investment.
The conscious and right investment, at least we can, the materials we do in Nigeria, we can still buy them in Naira and fix them. To build the stadium, the cement, the steel. I think we have all those. I don't know, Jakarta still, is it still,
Comatose.
Come on, because those are the things you need. When you spend too much money importing what you have the resources to build, you are into this. And this is not up to this, it is this government or that government. It is a continuum. We all are involved in this. And we're talking about consciously. We have to consciously come out of that and say, this is where we were. this is where we are, and this is where we ought to be, and how do we get there? Plenty money flowing at the FIFA Club World Cup.
Yes, and Carles Rummenigge says something that players can't complain about playing too many matches because you always keep demanding higher wages, keep demanding higher transfer fee, keep demanding higher remuneration. So where would the clubs get this funding from? So when players complain, you tell them, look, you ask for it. Let's put it that way. But again, I think there have been so many criticisms concerning this tournament. This tournament sort of replaced the whole FIFA Confederations Cup. And for the whole FIFA Confederations Cup, it was more of a tournament for national teams. But now you are bringing clubs. Some, you had the clear metrics why those clubs were invited. Some, it was just on man, no man.
All right. I think we have a caller reaching us from the United Kingdom. Hello. Hello? Your line is not clear. I don't know what you are using. Are you using a speaker or something? But your line is not clear. Can you please call back? Or you just stay away from the telly and then talk to us, not using your... I think it's the network. Oh my God. We can't get you. Probably try and call back. So we can get your opinion on this. Let's also move a little bit out of that and look at the transfer season. Pogba is back. And we also saw him crying when he signed for Monaco. A lot of things, when he was having those hard times, he had issues. I'm speaking with you now. Also, Adebayo. What Adebayo went through with his family and stuff like that, accusations of voodoo and stuff, Pogba is one of the most talented we can see. What are you seeing for himself? Fati, and so Fati also joined him in Monaco. On loan from Barcelona after signing an extension.
Yeah, I think he's the showman of French football, and he had the talent to actually back up the showmanship. So, he has delivered for French football.
He has won the World Cup.
Yeah, he won the World Cup for them. I saw that beautiful goal in that final against Croatia then. And but it was so unfortunate that other team messed up his footballing talent. You talked about the kind of company he moved with. But again, your brothers, how do you divorce yourself for that kind of company? So, but I think it was unfortunate for him that he had to go through that route. But as now, he should be winding down his career. So,
okay, let's see. I think our caller is back on the line. Hello. Hello. Okay. Okay. Zubi. All right. Okay. Yeah. Arsenal also, apart from Arsenal, also signed Zubi.
Yeah.
I think it's about... Zubi is 30. Is it 32? I don't know.
It's over the other side of 30.
Okay.
So for them, I think unfortunately, people are just used to Arsenal getting these names. But what has been the end result? That has always been the problem for Arsenal.
But you are dropping Partey for Zubi. Is it? I mean, is it because
Unfortunately for Arsenal now, what they need is a top striker.
They have strikers. It's not the same Martinelli that that Al Nassr is going for.
Let's check out their stats because
they've been scoring goals.
Ken, it's a different ball game getting a 5-1 against maybe Birmingham, but when you need to what happens in other matches. Okay. So they need a striker they can rely on. Look, for instance, why do you think most people were paying about Diogo Jota? Because if he comes from the bench, you are almost certain or something will happen.
A super sub that is going to
so it was not a regular starter, possibly because of his injury.
But they also signed, I learned that they've also signed Madueke.
I don't think it's confirmed yet.
Is it not confirmed?
I think the last time I checked, there was this intention of talking to him while he's in America.
Okay.
When he comes back. So, but I don't think the deal is signed yet. But I think all they need to do is, and with due respect, when I'm saying a top striker, Madrid is still learning the ropes.
He might say, we saw, let us take Chelsea for instance. We saw them sell Lukaku and buy, bought him back. We saw them sell Kevin De Bruyne, thinking that he's not up to date. Yeah. We saw them sell Mo Salah, and this guy came back to look, both of them at whatever it is.
Yeah.
So
they were selling. It's just like the embryo of a mama.
Yeah.
It has not yet developed. For the
they don't know what is going to happen.
Yeah, it's like the watermelon Jose Mourinho will talk about. It's on the way you slice it open, you know whether it's good or bad. So at this level, buy a watermelon that is already cut open.
Okay, so when Liverpool bought Diogo Jota, this watermelon has already been cut open by his performances in Wolves.
Diogo Jota was purchased not even necessarily to be their main points man.
Yeah,
just they wanted a very backup squad.
Yes,
and they got it in him.
And then he performed. He performed very well. That he now became a starter.
And to the extent, the song about him was being better than Figo.
Oh, Figo. Liverpool fans, they can. That the English team, when they want to hold it, they hold it. Okay, let's domesticate it. Osimhen is still trying to sort himself out with Napoli. Napoli has said, come back, come and start training. And then we also use that the same Napoli that is trying to offload Osimhen is also looking for Ademola Lookman. How does it correlate?
Yeah, from day one, you had Conte's perception about Osimhen. Before he joined, Osimhen was trying to work his way out of Napoli, and when he came, he said, look, for a player who says he doesn't want to stay, he would not want to keep such players.
Okay.
So, but I think what they are trying to do is to cash on Osimhen, whatever they can get, use it to finance their new acquisitions. That is just in arithmetic terms what Napoli are trying to do. But that Osimhen will play under Conte in Napoli, I don't foresee that happening.
What if the manager says, okay, right now, okay, there's another twist. Yep. We are hearing that Fenerbahce is putting on a bid for Osimhen. If this man moves from Galatasaray to Fenerbahce, is Turkey safe? Would Turkey be safe for him?
I think
those ultras.
Osimhen will be safer when earthquake happens in Istanbul than going to Fenerbahce. No, he should not dare.
Because the Gala fans, they even presented him to the president of Turkey.
Yeah, when they went as the title-winning
team.
side.
So, I mean, the day is when you hold Osimhen.
The partisanship of fans over there is too, the level, the premium they place on loyalty is too high.
It's too high.
If he was just an ordinary player, there would have been no issue, but he was a star
It's instrumental.
Yes.
Without him, I don't think Ghana
to secure the title. No, they would not have won that title.
His goals won them the title.
Fenerbahce were always breathing down their neck with Jose Mourinho. So, but Jose Mourinho has always been a long-time admirer of Victor Osimhen.
Jose Mourinho has always been a long-time admirer. He said that they don't have the money. I know he made allusion to that in one of his as a Fenerbahce manager, that they don't have the money to buy him.
And again, trusting Jose Mourinho could just be another means of destabilizing Galatasaray.
Okay, the bid.
Yes, we want to take over your star players. So just to unsettle them in their preseason.
I'm looking at that even UV are also saying that they're interested in signing him. But let us see. It is good that the stories are coming out that they want him. Yeah, he has proven what you cannot prove more than anything to top scorer in La Liga, in Serie A, and top scorer right there in Turkey. I mean, back to back tells you how good he is. So let's see. He has won the titles in both countries. Yep. He is African Footballer of the Year. I don't know where maybe he wins the AFCON with Nigeria. That should be the next thing, or win the World Cup with Nigeria. Who knows?
He needs to qualify for the World Cup. He needs to take Nigeria to the World Cup.
He needs to take that to the World Cup
before we can talk about winning the World Cup.
Before we talk about winning the World Cup. So that is it. Other than we will try and see if we can get you other transfer stories concerning Nigerians. Our females are also moving. Our male are moving.
Our goalkeeper went to Birmingham.
Yes,
Free transfer.
Nadozie, you know, she is in Birmingham now, and the way she was, you know,
Received.
unveiled, the way she was celebrated, entering. See, when you are good, sometimes I understand that there are some of these racist laws,
Yeah.
but your value. Osime is in a position where he can say, "This is how much I want."
to
He's a
attract.
Nigerian. He is black.
Yeah.
There are. If you go to England, from the 4th tier to the 3rd tier to the 2nd tier to Premiership, you know how many English players are playing in England, but they cannot say, "This is how much I want to earn." You understand? So when you do your job diligently well, there is no way you are not going to get
And you have the right
reward.
setup around you. Because you also need to have the right management, right atmosphere, because so that you end up not signing a very wrong and bad contract.
And bad contract. And also, like we said, I love the way Osime, Oshuala, people were at the point they say, look, they are going to the Twitter, going anywhere to go and post and do all those things. Victor Boniface.
For Oshuala, I think you need to get to know camp to know the kind of premium they place on Oshuala. I was shocked. I said, "Oh,
okay, of course, you were
same Oshuala with just a Nigeria."
You were in Spain.
Venerated in Nou Camp.
Yes,
venerated in Nou Camp as a player.
She scored some marvelous goals, iconic goals.
Yes, I think the only thing left for her is to have her status in Nou Camp.
And I remember the day she posted one when she and Messi, they met at their training camp, and the rest of them all. There is no better PR than our stars, our athletes. That's why the Ophili matter is still bothering us. We are still hoping against hope that it can be resolved.
Yeah, I think she finished sixth or so yesterday.
Yeah.
While Toby Amuson finished second. Yeah. Where Nathaniel Ezekiel also finished third in his 400 meters hurdles at the Eugene Grand Prix.
Yesterday. And then one of our athletes threw the short putter. I think he got a goal. He won his event. I'm trying to get his name.
Eugene.
Yeah. So we need to keep them. We have discovered them. We're trying to, of course, nurturing has been, we take them over to US for the schools there to nurture. Like we said, we know a lot of universities in Nigeria, both public and private. We should be looking at that area where we grant them scholarships, and then I think the Sport Commission is trying to, say, okay, we can fund you. But from there, we have some issues, some stories of some indebtedness to the Super Falcons, running into years. And so let us see, when we confirm those stories from the sources, then we shall bring it to you and see how those things can be resolved, because it is not at this point in time that the Falcons are playing. You remember what happened when, when he went to South Africa, and Zealand, and then he won the championship, and then the players say, "Give us that particular our bonuses, or we are not coming back." Because of that, Zealand's all his monies were withheld.
I think I don't foresee us running into those kind of issues, because now the pay structure is very clear. For a mere participation, it's $125,000. So the players, they are playing 3 matches. So out of the $125,000, what gets to us? Are we still maintaining our win, draw, loss bonus structure?
Okay, are we still maintaining that? So as we close the show, okay, what do you have to say today?
Yeah, again, life goes on. Condolences to the family of our own Dodo Mayana, Peter Rufai, the people of Lagos, and of course, Nigerians at large. Let's keep working hard.
That's Okpemi Ajala. He said, let's keep working hard. Condolences. People are still adding. I spoke to some of the ex-internationals during the week. I spoke to some of them before we came on air. They'll be paying a courtesy visit to his family today, this afternoon. If those of you, if you are also around, probably you can join them. We'll see how we can take that to you. Dodo Mayana, Mayana Dodo. God bless Nigeria.